You don't want the cheap Darth Vader.
Definitely
you want
not
like
the
the
cheap.
legit good Darth Vader.
Today, I'm on a mission to find my perfect costume. I love Halloween, but I'm not a fan of the generic costumes you see everywhere.
Spider-Man.
Cheap plastic,
Whoa.
thin fabric, and stuff that never fits right.
What in the world? How do you see out of this? This is weird. Do I look like Iron Man? Or do I just look like a freak?
I love the do-it-yourself mentality, but often the process can be overwhelming. So I usually end up buying the cheap stuff out of convenience and end up disappointed with another generic Halloween costume. But when I heard that you could rent a costume, that really had me curious. What makes a great Halloween costume?
I like really loud costumes.
Loud costumes,
Like
big costumes.
glitter, or if I'm gonna be a fairy, I better have like life-size huge wings.
Good costume always comes down to a bit of creativity and you putting a bit of yourself, time, and energy into it.
So like, I think what makes a great Halloween costume is picking something that no one else is gonna pick that year.
I like the stuff that's over the top, that's all out. So the actual like wig and beard that's like stuck to your face, you know? The wounds that are done really well with makeup.
It's the details. The details matter, like the little pieces that people do to just make that costume that's a little bit like normal over the top.
Mardi Gras is an incredibly unique place. They have pretty much everything. Hats, glasses, belts, cloaks, suits, wigs, makeup, masks, props, and more. Everything from full-on costume sets to all the pieces you'd need to assemble something yourself.
I can't look at you in real life. Super scared.
A lot of pirate stuff here, I see.
Oh yeah, we have some great Jack Sparrow get-ups that we made here in-house that we have up front in the vault. You can essentially like build your own costume back here in rental, or you can pick one that's pre-done. We have these amazing leather hats for the Jack Sparrow.
That's
so if you
so
want to
nice.
do like a real deal pirate,
Yeah.
I have a room of prop weapons, so I have real deal Jack Sparrow like swords and stuff like that.
I love picking and choosing the pieces to make what you want, you know, rather than just pulling something out of the box and like, oh, everyone else already has this too, and I look just like that person over there, and it's kind of like cheap looking.
I'm all for collage costuming. You can always adorn somehow or another, even more so to just be that much more over the top.
This is very different than your regular retail store. It's a local business with its own unique flair.
How many costumes are back here?
Upwards of 28,000 rental costumes alone in the building. Your costume is unique in general when you rent costumes from us because there's normally not a duplicate of that costume. It's either handmade or it's vintage or bought it from somebody who makes costumes. So we've got lots of different sources that we've collected.
They certainly have your traditional pre-packaged costumes, but they also have a huge inventory of quality items for genuine authenticity. Stuff that looks and feels authentic.
Real leather, real deal holsters, real deal boots.
I mean, at what point do you call it a costume, like when it is just like the real stuff? That's the sound you want with your costume. You want your costume to sound like that.
Have you ever been guilty of purchasing a costume from a pop-up Halloween shop?
Yeah, totally. And like, I always regret the decision.
It never fits right, it never feels right.
Those things you get in the bags, like those costumes you buy in the bags, they're not good quality. They're just, they're not.
And they're very expensive.
It'd be different if those costumes were like 20 bucks and you could just be like, okay, I showed up at the party in like this ill-fitting, you know, basically pajamas.
And you're like, what? This doesn't feel good. This isn't satisfying to spend this much money on something that looks like junk. A lot of these items are genuine. Actual clothes worn by real people doing the real thing. Others are handmade recreations or replicas using similar materials and construction methods to mimic the original.
That guy is heavy,
Oh
so
my
be careful.
So heavy.
I have a matching shield to it.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's great.
Totally. With the right helmet too.
Oh my goodness. You just feel like a badass, like you're gonna go.
Fight people.
Yeah, you're gonna go fight. You're gonna do something awesome.
There's a big difference between dressing up in a costume and putting on a uniform.
The vibe you get when you wear something real just makes it just all that more authentic of an experience, I feel like.
Definitely. It's way unique. People have fun.
But I suppose maximum authenticity might not be your favorite, considering some of the items could be haunted.
Humans tend to attach themselves to material possessions. So what our theory is here is that with all of these vintage military, vintage dresses, vintage gowns, vintage suits, that those were people's loved material possessions that they now have that energy left with. We've got 3 different spirits that we can tell so far, or the evidence say. They're all very mischievous and friendly, so it's nothing very negative. It's just moving things around, things, winding up in different locations. I've had like keys disappear out of my pocket before. Like I asked, what was the name? What's your name? I'd like to know what to call you, and I got Murphy, the word Murphy back. And so Murphy's actually a name badge on one of our military uniforms up in our military stock, so that was kind of cool to like get a name back and kind of know.
But at least they're all like Casper, they're friendly ghosts.
Yeah, they're just mischievous and fun. It's not like anything like scary or negative. It's very just like
we don't need to call the exorcist.
No, we have no issues with that around here. It's all very childlike, I guess I would say.
So in the vault, this is the most premium, most expensive stuff.
For sure.
For rental. But like, most expensive meaning how much? Like what's the Jack Sparrow outfit? Just like the base outfit.
Base outfit for Jack Sparrow with a pair of boots is about like $125, $150. It just depends on what underpieces, what belts and stuff you put with it.
But very reasonable, I would say. This is not like thousands of dollars to have a costume.
No, it's definitely reasonable, especially if you do our Halloween deal where you come in early and reserve it ahead of time. So this would be like a Tudor piece. So this would be a male tunic with his overcoat here. And it's just it's historically accurate. French colonial kind of styling.
Oh, yes.
We've definitely got the whole Louis look here. Sleeves can knock people out in its own, so.
Yeah, the detail is just so awesome.
People like to rent these for Halloween and go out as royalty and act the part.
Considering what are your other options? You buy something that's like kind of low quality and it's like, yeah, it's cheaper, but it's low quality and probably you're only gonna wear it the one time and maybe it's gonna break. Or you'd have to go do it and make it yourself, which is probably a ton of money and a lot of time that a lot of people don't have.
For sure, yeah, definitely. Costuming takes a lot of time.
Mardi Gras is an amazing location because it operates year-round, serving all sorts of individuals and local businesses. From actors and artists, clubs, dancers, and festivals, there are so many reasons to dress up in something special.
I think it's fun to dress up because there's a lot of like themed parties and you want to be able to either stand out or just like be a part of the festivities. Because if you go to a party that's like a costume party and you're not dressed up, you don't want to be that guy.
I like dressing up because I think it makes you it's like a conversation piece. You can go over and be like, hey, Pirates of the Caribbean, huh? Like, how was that season finale of Handmaid's Tale?
Costume parties are so fun. I think it gets people kind of out of their comfort zone and makes them feel a little bit more lively.
That's what's awesome about dressing up too, is it doesn't have to be for Halloween. Like, create moments throughout the year where you can wear cool costumes and come up with a theme and have an event instead of just saying like, hey, I'm having a backyard barbecue. Say like, I'm throwing a 20s party, so come in costume.
Best feeling is when somebody comes in and, I have to go to a party. I need this kind of costume. And turning that around to, I'm so excited to go to my party, like, this is amazing. Like, that's what feels amazing in this industry, working here. And we can turn that around to make them feel so much better.
Because I've been that person. I know, like, probably everybody has been that person. It's like, oh, there's a Halloween party on whatever. I've got to do something. But instead of like dreading it, like plan a little bit ahead and put some energy in it. You'll feel better about yourself in that experience, like by putting in some effort.
I think it's interesting when people dress up, especially when it's like authentic attire, their whole personality changes. It's like they become that character, which the more authentic you can appear, the more you change as a person.
It gives you like confidence.
Oh yeah.
Swagger.
I think costumes are so fun because it's an opportunity to become someone else, to transform from a normal person into a soldier, cowboy, Viking, or space marine. The instant you put on the mask, or the jacket, or the wig, you feel different. There's a power in what we wear and how it makes you feel. I'm so grateful for those moments of losing yourself to the character and just having so much fun. These were amazing costumes, but if you want some amazingly gruesome special effects makeup, watch our tutorial for putting Coke cans in your head. It's really gross, really disgusting, but really awesome. Watch it.